my favorite job on a big set is to be the runner, to have everything run through Campfire Creative. I run the production, but I'm literally the guy who buys coffees on the day.
Yeah.
Because I want to be close to the camera. I want to see what's going on with the camera, and I know what lenses we should maybe be using, or what the scene should be like, or sitting next to the director and seeing what the director is thinking, and maybe like listening in, edging in. But then I also enjoy being able to float around the set and be on set, because that's part of the joy of being on set.
Oh, I mean,
is you get to enjoy the people that are on it.
And then there's, I love being out in the field, in some hairy location, obscure location or whatever you want to call it, with just you and a director and maybe one or other. And then I love just as much being on a slightly bigger crew. I'm never really on a massive crew, but everyone's got their roles, and and it just runs so smoothly, and I just love that team environment, when it's a bit bigger and it's a bit more cushy and stuff, and I don't want to give one up for the other one. It's it's all great, and I think for that reason that's maybe why it's so good having a production company, is because at any point I can just do whatever I want. I can put myself in the director's seat or put myself in the shooting seat. I can do the types of productions that I want to be doing, which I still don't know what that is. We do all have to. Unfortunately, in this industry, and especially in this town in London, I mean, it's a big, wide industry, and you have to be pigeonholed. People want to know what you are, and so at some point I came up with the title of myself being the kind of gritty, authentic commercial shooter, because I have this documentary background or whatever.
There could be a new niche.
Well, no, it was a big deal at the time. Authenticity was a big word sort of 5 years ago, and that was kind of what I thought. I'll pitch myself that way, and I still kind of try to, if ever anyone needs the pitch, that's what I'll do, but I kind of have a little bit of a background smirk going on. Yeah.
I'm the gritty DOP. But I feel like you look at photography, you look at what's mainstream, it's like you want really high-end fashion, but you don't want it to feel like high-end fashion. So you go with the nitty-gritty, it feels a bit more raw, but they want somebody with a commercial eye, right? So you can go on set, or you go on a shoot, they maybe want one key or one flash, and then can you style it and make it look nice? So it's taking a fashion photographer, putting them in to this gritty side of things, and like, what can you deliver on a day? And I feel like all of us are pressed to do more with less, either less budget or less of a crew. And I think the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better you're going to be all around. I'd be more inclined to hire somebody like you than somebody who's just a straight up DOP that only does those sorts of projects. Because I feel like you've got a raft of experience and knowledge, so on set, you would be more helpful.
Yeah.
Given things that can go sideways, because you understand all of these. You're going to shoot better because you understand the edit. You've directed, so you know how to get the best out of cameramen. So maybe when the director's not being very clear, you can then be more clear. Be like, we need you to do this so it looks better in the camera.
Sure, and to go back on how you started that was, talking about I need a gritty kind of a gritty shot, or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, that comes down to the script, isn't it? To the shot list and how you want to treat each film. And, I think in some ways, with that example in mind, gritty, I would script a shot maybe that might be wide and close, so a wide lens and get nice and close so you can see every single hair follicle that could be an interpretation, but that goes down in the script, and that's how you shoot that shot. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't know how to do a mirage shot. If we wanted to do a really romantic silhouette or whatever. And so that whole pigeonholing becomes totally just irrelevant. And actually, half the time, you get hired by someone, you start doing the job, and you realise they totally don't want that look. They want something else that's a bit more fashion or
They didn't even know what
whatever.
they wanted
They
when they said what they
but
wanted.
apparently you're the guy for the job, and you pull it off and do a great job of it, and they're like, yeah, this is what we wanted. And like, well, that's, you know.
Well,
great.
this to me, I think, is more relevant than anything in the industry. It's like when you get hired because you're Daniel. I mean, yes, you've got a lovely reel, your work's great, but if you then cast, the net out to the next 3,000 DOPs, and you look at their reels, you go, oh man, do all the reels look the same? Do they have a similar vibe? What am I hiring here? And for me, I always feel like I want to hire the human. It's like, I feel like the guys that I bring in, the DOPs I can bring in could shoot it, but there's another 1,000 people that could shoot the exact same thing. So what I want is a great person on the day that can still deliver good stuff, but it's really about the relationship, the trust, what you've created in that rapport with the person, not just a reel.